Hey guys, it's Amy Wadsworth with 804 Sycamore, and thank you so much for checking out this video. This is actually a very late version of part 2 for the drop zone. So in part 1, I ripped out our tiny drop zone that was pretty worthless. It had 2 little bins in the bottom and a bench and 2 hooks. And with 4 of us, it just wasn't enough. So tore it down, rebuilt a drop zone for our shoes, our backpacks, our jackets, our hats, and then some seasonal storage at the very top. So I utilized our 10-foot ceilings, and we absolutely love it. It's just great. And I painted it a dark green to kind of help cover up the dirt. However, the top part always kind of bugged me because I felt like it was just a place to collect dust, and it just felt like there was too much open space, too many open shelving and cubby type spots. So the plan was always to add doors to the top portion. And so that's what this video is about. And I think you're gonna love these doors. It's affordable, it's beautiful, and it's super functional because it allows our winter gloves and hats and things to air out, but they're still protected from dust and debris. So please hit subscribe and give me a like if this is helpful, and let's get going. Hey guys, so to get started, I ordered my cabinet doors from fastcabinetdoors.com, and then I primed them with this gray primer since I'm using a dark gray paint. And I love Fast Cabinet Doors. You get to pick the hardware, they help you with measuring it, and so for this part I just took my time in priming it. Now before I do my final coat, I decided it would be a good time to cut out my metal inserts, and I will provide links to this metal insert and Fast Cabinet Doors and my hardware, all that good stuff, the paint color and everything. But what I did is I just lined it up, used a Sharpie, and then cut it with these shears. And these shears had pretty good ratings, but I'll go ahead and add a link in the description. They're very easy for me to use. This sheet metal was very easy to cut. And so that's what I did. I'm right-handed, but I think they can be used for lefties as well. But I just thought it was much smoother and easier, and I tried very hard to not bend it, but it was very forgiving, and like I said, just so easy. So I do have some scrap pieces left, and I might think of something fun to do with those, but at this point I went ahead, drew my lines, cut the metal, and then you always want to dry fit it in your cabinet door just to make sure that it fits. You don't want to find out when you have a bead of adhesive glue in your cabinet that, oh, I need to cut more off. So make sure you always dry fit. And I like doing this part after my cabinet doors are primed, because if the metal were to scratch it, it's not on my final paint job. In fact, you could do it before you even prime it. When I primed it, it dried 24 hours and I felt really secure. The metal it's actually very lightweight and easy to work with. So after you make your cuts for the 2 doors, you may want to label them. Now my doors were 1/4 of an inch different, and so I made sure to mark the 2 left side doors because I just didn't want to mess with any issues down the road. Now that my metal is all cut, I like to go ahead and use a 220 grit sanding sponge. It just kind of removes any little pieces of paint, any bubbles that may have popped. It actually is very good practice to sand in between every single layer of paint, and so that's what I did. Primed it once, sanded, and then I did 2 layers of paint, sanding in between. And you never sand after your final coat, but it only takes a second, and it makes a huge difference. So now I'm using Sherwin Williams Pewter Green. I love this paint color. It has earthy tones, a little bit of blue. It's just very nice. And so I'm just using a sponge roller. I think it's 4 inches. And I'm literally doing one surface at a time. So after the top dries, then I went ahead and did around. When the outside edge was dried, I flipped it over. I actually painted the back sides first and made sure they were fully dry, and then I always do the front last, since that's what's seen from the outside. I'm not the best painter, but Sherwin Williams has really nice paint, and I feel like if you just take your time, that's the best way to do it. You don't have globs of paint or runs or anything like that, so take your time. With my 2 coats of paint done and fully cured, I decided it was time to bite the bullet and use the adhesive to attach my metal inserts. The brand is Gorilla, and I'm using the Max Strength Construction Adhesive, and it's a clear color. I just used a caulking gun to apply it, and I'm a little bit shaky at first. I was kind of nervous about it, but I just went all the way around on the insert, and then I was ready to go ahead and add the metal. So just go all the way around. I went really quick on that bottom part, but I went back and added a little bit more. This caulking gun was giving me some problems, and so I was trying to kind of work fast, but I added these cardboard inserts to kind of make up the difference so that the metal wouldn't bow, and it worked out great. The cardboard is actually from shipping the metal pieces, so you just want to let the adhesive completely dry, wait 2 days, and then I'm adding the soft close hinges to the cabinet doors, and I'm just using a rubber mallet so that I don't mar the metal or my wood cabinets, and it goes in really slick. Now I love these hinges because they have they are able to adjust when you hang your cabinet doors. If they're slightly off, you can make those internal changes and get them perfectly leveled. And once those were in, it was time to go ahead and add my hardware, and I love this Craig jig. I just line it up exactly where I need to for the piece of hardware, wherever you want it installed. And then you just go ahead and add your hardware. And I got these super cute owl hangers from Anthropology. You can also get them on Etsy, which is very cool. So here is the drop zone before without the doors. I've waited a little bit too long to finish this project. We got lots of shoes. It was time to kind of give it a cleaning. Now that spring is here, and you can see we have bins for like keys and wallets and sunglasses, and then all of our hats. And then here it is after. I totally love it. It hides our seasonal storage, winter things, pool things, pickleball things. We have it in these bins, and the mesh, the metal inserts allow all of our stuff to kind of breathe so it doesn't get mildewy or whatever, but it also protects it from the dust because we come in from the garage every single day, multiple times a day, and so this area is heavily used and can get pretty dusty. So this is a final project. I hope you found these metal inserts installed as easily as I did. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much for watching.